And in my mind, I couldn't comprehend because me coming from the hood was thinking, I wish a woman would run up on me. I'm gonna get loose up in here. So I couldn't understand why is my daughter with this woman is putting her, and you talking the most violent homes I've ever been to with the worst domestic violence has been the same sex relationships. It gets ugly. I mean, so ugly that you would be like, you gotta be kidding me. So I didn't understand it. I couldn't, because I had never experienced it. My great-grandmother did, but my mother instilled, don't let no man put up. So that was always, that's the spirit I carried around, but it made me hard. So when I would deal with men, I'd be like, you ain't nobody putting their hands on me. So I was very aggressive, hard. I didn't realize what it was doing was making me too independent. So men, I was unapproachable. Men were like, she's so rugged, but it was a defense mechanism because inside I was afraid by the way my mother described the way her mother got a bullet shot through her afro, and how my grandfather was a cop and would come home drunk and beat my grandmother, and just, so it scared me. I'm being honest. I'm like, I don't want to ever go through that. So the spirit I was putting out was, I don't want to go through that, but I didn't know that spirit was in our family anyway, and it trickled down to my daughter. So what I did was I didn't give up on my daughter. I knew it. I felt it. I felt it before. It wasn't no black. I could feel it. Her demeanor changed. Even her odor changed. Her body sense. It was like almost like I could see the self-esteem that was in her. I taught my daughter at a young age I was a Kappa sweetheart. I used to tell her, I'm not conceited. I'm just convinced, because I wanted her to get that self-esteem. Right. But I'm watching her change, and I'm like, what in the heck is, something ain't right. Something is wrong. What happened was my granddaughters told me. My granddaughters came and said, such and such, and I'm not going to say the name, is putting their hands on my mom. My granddaughter was waking up in the middle of the night screaming at my mom's house. Something is wrong. What the heck is going on? So now what I did was, instead of a lot of parents, because I'm upset, because I'm saying, you heard me talk about the man. You've seen me arrest people. You've seen me upset about it. Instead of pushing her away, I do it like this. Oh no, we about to bring her over. I want to meet her. How you doing, sweet? You dating my daughter? See, I'm one of them mothers that I'm not here to judge you. Right. That ain't my place. My place is not to change who you are. My place is to empower you. I'm not your judge. That's why God said, judge not, yet ye be judged. Because if I open up my closet, I'm looking at her saying, baby, if some stuff fall out, you would be saying, I thought mommy was a holy one. What's going on in there? So that's not my place. My thing is to let the abuser know I love my daughter. And I'll go to hell and hot water for her, and I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. If I got to come to your house every day, I'm going to be there. Because you won't keep looking in my face, because my daughter is going to look in my face and see what love looks like. This is what love looks like. I'm going to be there. I don't care how many times you go back. I'm going to be there. So I was there, and Mama got a little out of hand a little bit. You know, I had to let the girl know, baby, I'm the one. I'm your huckleberry. See, I've been fighting all my life. I would lose everything for this one. This is mine. I birthed her. I ain't going nowhere. And we went through that, and I ended up jumping on the girl. I'm going to keep it all the way 100. Me and the girl got into it. It was ugly. It was ugly. Because this is my child. And you're destroying not only her, but her daughters. I'm going to step in here and let my child say, I'm laying down my life for you. Do you understand? I could lose everything. Do you understand? This is what love looks like. I need you to see, remember. You done forgot. Remember, he said, raise up a child in the way they should go. Do you remember the things I've sacrificed, how I've showed you? Remember, Tay, I need you to come back. So I stayed on her. She moved out of her apartment. I put her in another one. Guess what? I knocked on the door. The girl was in the house. Anger in me was like this. And I'm not going to lie. Inside, I wanted to say, I'm done. I'm done. But my mother, being an advocate for domestic violence, said, don't ever turn your back on her. Stay there. Because when it's time for her to leave, you want her to know that she got somebody to fall on. What an abuser does is try to isolate her, so she'll feel like she has nowhere to go. I knock on the apartment door in uniform. At the time, me and one of the officers that stopped me were really close, and he kept saying, don't say nothing in that uniform, because if you do, you're going to lose your job. All she got to say is she's a deceitful person anyway. She already know you're a cop. Who jumps on a cop's daughter and know that y'all like this? And her father's a cop too. Who does that? But what she didn't understand is police badge didn't make me. This controls who I am. But I'll come. This is my baby. This is my child. So when I knocked on the door, you know what I did? I looked at her. I said, oh, Cassius, we ain't putting our hands on each other today, huh? I said, so you moved back in, huh? And I'm looking at my daughter. She moved back in. I said, I said, this how you show you love your daughters? This what you want to teach your daughters? Because this is what you teach them. But I looked at her abuse and said, I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to be here every time. And guess what? This apartment is in my name. So if I feel like unlocking the door and coming up in here, I will do such. And I said, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pray on this thing. And I walked out and I prayed. I want to say within a week, it was a done deal. It was a done, it was over. And then I had to go back and reinforce in my daughter, she did not make you. She didn't break nothing in you. It was you. She don't have that kind of control. She don't have, it was something in you that you need to identify. What was it in you that allowed you to bow down on what you know? What made you break down? And she said, Mommy, I don't like being alone.
And that's key.
I don't like being alone, and I don't like being alone, and so I just settled. And she was giving me certain things, and I just don't like being alone. So we had to address that. So I had to teach my daughter it's all right to be alone. It's okay to be alone. And if you feel like you that. Listen here, you can come back and move back home with your mama. We can do that. Come on. See, I'm a different kind of mother. I'm a real mother. I'm not one of them real mothers. Listen here, I tell my husband, they can move back in. Oh, they can move back in here. Any day, you can come back home. You ain't never got to do. I don't care what you're doing in the street. You come back home. And I think mothers need to reinforce that in your daughters and your sisters and your friends. Jocelyn, if you ever need me, I don't care where I'm at, I'm coming. Do you hear me? Yes. It don't mean if I got to get 10 or 20 women with me, I'm coming. You got to get a group of people that you know is coming. No matter what they come. When I call and say I'm ready, I don't care if you've been through domestic violence over and over and over. When you got to have that group of people that you can say, I'm ready. And they say, you ain't got, I'm going to address. We need address. Hey, fine, let's roll. Y'all ready? Yeah. What we need to do, we come. And we come as a village. We not coming to talk about you. We ain't come to be in your business. We ain't come to beat you down. We come to get naked. And I'm coming to say, listen, I ain't never been in a domestic violence situation, but guess what? I watched my daughter go through it. I ain't never been in a domestic violence situation, but I was a cop that was raped by another cop. So y'all ain't know that part of the story. And I was a cop then, a long time ago. So don't tell me it can't happen to women that's strong. Because those, a lot of times, those are what the abusers look for, is the strong ones, because they want to break you. They want to break you, and you think you're so strong, so you don't look inside of you and find out what's not right. Who are you? Who are you? You don't even know who you are. So now you walk around, I got it going on, I got a good job. Can't no man break me. The very ones, when I went to Kennedy and talked about sex trafficking, the very girls were like, it couldn't happen to me. I said, baby, you the very target they can get. Every time you sit there and you think you too good, it can't happen to you, you're wrong. You're wrong. All it takes is the right situation, baby. Don't tell me it can't happen, because it can. But when you know who you are, that means you got to strip butt naked. When I tell you all the way down, crying on the floor, y'all, I was here. I was much bigger than I am now. This was God stripping me down. I'm talking about snot running out my face, crying, and I didn't realize He was saying, okay, they did this to you, but what part did you play? Who are you? I had to dig deep, and that's what y'all gonna have to. It ain't pretty. It ain't pretty. It ain't cute. You gonna hurt. But once you get to that point, I promise you, you will never, ever let a boy put his hands on you, because a king would never treat a queen that way. So then you would know you are a queen. There are certain things you will not ever engage in or tolerate. And once we all stand on one accord like that, do you understand how powerful we are? If you got women saying this ain't happening no more, oh no, y'all be by yourself. I guess y'all gonna date each other, because y'all ain't gonna put your hands on us no more. We need to laws. I already, you see, I just said we need to do. I get the sex offenders. Domestic violence, you need to register as a domestic violence offender. Why not? Why not? We need to go back to registering guns in the homes. You just said that. So that when I'm a law enforcement officer and I pull up your address, I can see how many guns it say in the home. We know as law enforcement officers, it says one is usually double the amount. So now I know if it's 3 in your house, I know we might be looking at 6. At least I know what's in your house. And when I come to your house, and if it's a domestic violence situation, we need to have a law that says we take the guns out the house immediately. I don't care if I don't affect an arrest. I'm here for something. The guns gotta go until you sit down with a counselor. Before you get out of jail, if you beat up, you got to go through counseling. Before that family is reunited together, the whole family got to go sit in front of a counselor. Let's make them kind of rules. It's time for us to make some laws that's gonna stick, because it ain't working. Whatever, and it's sickening. It's making me want to throw up in my mouth. I'm sick to the fact of, and I get it. Like you, well, I'm gonna let you go because I know you're gonna put me on this form about how police officers look at things.
Well, actually, you can transition into it
Okay.
now since you're
I will say this, and I want to apologize to some of those women that my behavior when I first became a law enforcement officer may have affected, because everybody's life that we touch, we are responsible for the seeds that we drop in your life. And we don't understand that. So when I'm nasty or disrespectful to you, I don't understand what you're going through. So that seed that I put in your life may cause you to spin out of control. I'm responsible for that. So I want to apologize, first of all, because when I first became a law enforcement officer, I was not educated on domestic violence. I didn't know, I didn't understand a woman's, I couldn't understand. Why would she keep going back to a man that's beating on her? That's just stupid. I'm being totally 100 with y'all. That's just, how stupid can she, that don't make no sense. Why would she be doing that? I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't understand. What is going on with you? What, I don't understand it. But how many times have I did the same thing over and over and over and over again? And later on I look and be like, why do I keep making the same mistakes? So I had to think to myself, I'm not perfect either. I'm just not weak in the area where she's weak at. Or I'm just not, I haven't been, but where I am, she might look at me and say, why would you keep doing that over and over again? That's stupid. So what I did was I sat down with a domestic violence counselor.
Yes.
See, I went to the source. I need to figure out what's going on, and that's the problem with law enforcement officers. Sometimes we get so elite, we don't want to listen to what the victim has to say. You understand? So now, I think that the training needs to be different for law enforcement officers. We need to understand the mind of the victim.
That's right.
And when God was dealing with me, she showed me the mind of the victim. And this is how he showed me. I grew up without a father. I don't know nothing about. I didn't know how to love a man. I didn't know what a man, love of a man was. I had no idea. I thought a single parent house was normal. I'm being honest with y'all. So when people be like, I got a father in the house, that was abnormal for me. That's not how I was raised. I was happy being raised by my aunts and my mother and them. And they were some warriors. My aunt and them used to throw down. They took care of the house. I felt protected when the girls at Adams wanted to jump me. My mother was old school. Put their hair in a ponytail. They come into the school. I'm her big sister, and I'm looking like that's my mama, but y'all don't know it. But we about to rumble, but they took care of us, and they instilled certain things in us. But next door to me was a married couple. It was a father, a mother, 3 sons, and a daughter. He was an ex-Vietnam vet. I will never forget this ever, and I can see it in I can almost smell it. I remember one day they were outside, and I could hear all this commotion. And he was outside, he was beating her. She was about your height. Beating her. He jumped up in there and kicked her on the head and the face, blood. I'm like, what kind of stuff is this? And they said, this was the excuse. He's a Vietnam vet, and he has post-traumatic, or he's going back, he's having flashbacks or something like that. It was so bad, y'all, that this man is calling out numbers and beating his wife. I've never, and nobody in the community is doing nothing. Everybody's watching this. The lady runs next door to her. I will never, our back door, and she's screaming. My mother opens the door. Miss Rowe, I'll never forget this. She comes inside the house, and when she gets in there, my aunt my aunt's violent, get some knives, because if he come up in here, we go, because they don't love him. They don't want to, you come up in here, now it's a different situation. My aunt, let's get it on. We about to get it on. So my mother said, let's call the police. When she went to grab the phone, Miss Rosie said, please don't call the police on my husband. I've never seen that. I'm looking at myself, you don't want to go to jail. Look at your face. It's you bleeding from I couldn't understand it. Somebody did call the police. You know what the police told them? Go take a walk. They go take. I want to say I was probably 13. Then next door to them was another married couple. But it was something about Miss Juanita Wallace. It was something attractive about her. I don't know what it was. I was attracted to her. Like it was something. I knew it was something in her I needed. She was a mother to me. Well, my mother couldn't be a mother to me because my mother ended up being a crackhead. So now this woman is like a mother to me. She's teaching me, she's a nurse. She's showing me this is how you're supposed to do it, because all my family in the house was on welfare. She was teaching me how to be independent so that I wouldn't end up being that woman in that house. I didn't know God was putting a ram in the bush to show me, see what you see in her is what's in you. That's why. But her husband looked just like he could be my father. Pretty hair, freckles on his face. Me and her son look like brothers and sisters. If I showed you a picture of Booby, you would say that's your brother. Freckles all. But he would beat her. And I didn't know it till one day I went to her house. And I adored this man. I called him daddy because I wanted a father in my life anyway. I went to her door and seen a black eye. My stomach was so sick I was thinking to myself, and I'm being honest, I said, I don't never want a man in my life. I'm good. This was the depiction of what I thought a man was. So now you gotta remember, now I'm growing up, so now I have a problem with men. So when you see me, my demeanor towards men is real strong. Oh, I don't play that. You put your hands on me, I will kill you. So men are like, oh, she's so aggressive. But they didn't realize I was afraid. I'm like, I done seen, but in my home where there was a bunch of women, it was love. I ain't want to deal with that. So when a woman comes to the police department to tell us, hey, I don't know what to do. I want them to stop beating on me. And the officers look like, okay, want to sign a warrant? No, I don't want to sign a warrant, but I want y'all to do something. Well, we can't do nothing. What she's thinking in her head is this. How can I put him in jail? I love him. He's touched the most intimate parts of me. He's been there for me when nobody else has been there. I have carried his seed in my stomach. I adore this man. I love the way he smells at times. The things that he says to me, no, I can't explain it. He's intoxicating. It's something about him that just drives me to him. I can't help. I can't help it. You don't understand in the late night hours the way he makes me feel protected. Though he's my abuser, he makes me feel protected a lot. I'm telling you what God showed me. I feel protected. He protects me. So why would I want to put him in jail? Because I love him, but I hate him. I hate him because he's torn the very parts of me apart. I'm not the woman that I used to be. He's got up into my intimate parts of me. He's destroyed them. He doesn't even understand. The son that we bear, I look into his eyes and I don't know whether to love him or hate him because he looks like his father. Come on now. Now I'm telling you what an abused woman looks. This is what God showed me. This is going on in her head. I hate him because I know for a fact one day he's going to kill me. I know it. I know it. So I don't know how to tell you I need help because I'm double-minded. I don't know, but I need your help. Can you help me? Can you save me? Even if it means you have to save me from myself. Did you just hear what I told you? So now y'all know what a person is going through domestic violence. And I've never been through, but you said everything I'm saying is true. This is what God gave you. He said, so now when you deal with a woman on domestic violence, when she sees double-minded, you understand why. She loves him, but she hates him at the same time. She's telling you, I need help. Can somebody help me? This man has taught me things. He even taught me how to love myself. That's the way I think. So now the way I love myself and the way I look at myself is the image of him. So that's the reason why I feel like I'm beneath him. That's the reason why I feel like I can't get away. The door's open. I said the door's open. Why she didn't walk out? Because I need him. I know the door is open, but I don't know how to get out of it. If I get out, I don't know who I am. Who am I? I don't know who I am without him. I know what it's like. I wasn't abused, but my ex-husband, who was a bishop, if you ask me what color I loved, I said blue. That's not my favorite color. When you ask me what kind of music I listen to, I would say gospel. I love gospel music, but I like R&B too. I lost who I was in that. I didn't know who I was. I'm being honest. I didn't know. So honestly, that could have turned into an abusive relationship. Easily. Because I lost who Nakia was. And that's what's happening to these women because they already don't know who they are. They're broken at 2-3 years old. 2-3 years old, they're broken. And we don't know how to get to them. And we get embarrassed as mothers when you feel like, I can't believe my child can relate to them. Daggone, if you can relate to my child and help them, help her. Help her. When I went to Kennedy to speak to the children, what did they say? We love her. Can she come back and be our commencement speaker? You know why? Because just what you said. They want authentic and real. They don't want no more play no more. So when I go in there and talk to them, I say, you're not niggas. Do you understand why your pants sagging? Do you know where it came from? These young men was like this. I said, do you understand it came from slavery? He looking at me like, I said, yeah, back in the day, they would take the biggest dude, rape him in front of all the slaves as an example, and then they would make him sag his pants. For an example to them, say, if you get out of line, this is what's going to happen to you. So do you understand when you sag your pants, that's the spirit that you carry on you. All of them boys in there, what do? Josh, they do like this. Then I said, do you understand what a nigga is? They said, no. I said, it's slothful, dirty, nasty, filthy. Look it up in the dictionary, but that's what you're calling yourselves. So what spirit are you putting on you? You can never walk as a king. You can never. So how can you protect us queens if you can't walk like a king?
That's real.
So I said from this point on, when you talk to one another, it's not what's up, my nigga. What's up, king? What's up with you, king? Look at them, how it changes. You're going to look at women different because you're going to be held to a higher standard. Ain't no more excuses. your excuses of putting your hands on us, it's no more.
That's right.
It's no more. Ain't no more excuses. I got an anger problem. Then you need to deal with yourself.
That's it.
Don't put your hands on us. Do
That's
you
it.
understand we birthed y'all?
Come
Don't
on.
think it was a joke. It was not a coincidence that they showed Mary birthing Jesus, because God could have snapped his fingers. He wanted to show you that you came through a woman, so you should respect her. Because every time you disrespect a woman, you disrespect yourself. I had to break them down. Let me tell you, them young men in there, what did they say? Can she be our commencement speaker? Because she set it on fire. But then I had to get with the women. What are you accepting?
Come on.
What are you accepting?
Come on.
Every time a woman accepts abuse from a man, she makes it hard on the next woman. Y'all gotta think like this. Look at your daughters. Look at, if you can't pull the strength in yourself for yourself, look at your babies. Your daughters are being affected. I promise you, the things that my mother did in life affected me.
That's
I
right.
had no idea I was carrying this around.
That's right.
I had no idea that when my brother molested my daughter, it's because he was looking at pornographic stuff on TV because my mother wasn't paying attention. She was getting her life together. That's what happened. I'm not blaming her. But I had no idea it was going to spiral our life out of control because after that, I couldn't forgive my brother. I didn't know how. I wanted to kill him. I wanted to, it was bad. And that's hard when it's a family that's close to something like that. Because it divides the whole family.
Yeah.
So now I become so protective of my daughter. I want to make sure she healed. I wasn't healing. So inside of me, even when I deal with pedophiles at work, I have to be like, you know what, y'all got to deal with this. And I had no idea it was because I couldn't, it was unforgiveness in me. But what I also didn't realize is because I didn't forgive, I was carrying that spirit around with me. So my other children were being subjected to sexual predators. And I kept saying, why is this happening? Why is this? God said, because you never forgave it. You keep carrying it with you. And you don't understand, you cursing your children with it. I had to sit down and break down to my knees and forgive my brother. Do y'all know how hard that was for me?
Yeah.
That's some of the weight going off. I didn't realize I was carrying a weight on me.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I was carrying it. Y'all, we gotta forgive. After we get these women away from these men, you got to teach them to forgive so they can get that spirit off of them so they don't attract another. I'm telling you, domestic violence is almost, I'm telling y'all, it's almost like a spirit. Have y'all ever seen women be like, how did she get out of that relationship and then get into another one? I don't understand it. She don't know. She's attracted. Remember, this man that created her into this.
Yes.
So she can't help it. What she sees is, oh, I see love from this. That's why I'm so attracted to him. Because this man created you into this. Come on. And now with this man, he's even worse. And it's worse. And he beats her down until she's nothing. Till she's nothing. But you got to remember, when do God use you the most? At your lowest. Do y'all hear what I'm telling you? So, but sometimes it takes her to get to her lowest. Don't give up on her. I'm begging y'all. Don't give up on her. Some women are just strong. Some women just go through it and you're like, I don't understand it, but God gave her to that. But when she's ready, y'all gonna know when she call her. I don't care if you don't want to call her. I call her. What you doing? I love you. Show her what love is. That's what I did. I need to be an example to you. Let me remind you what love is. Let me show you what love will do for you. Love will jeopardize it all for you.
That's it.
Love, I don't care about me being a cop. I'll lay it down for you because I love you. And I will not allow anybody to hurt you. Feed life in her. You're beautiful. You are beautiful. You are amazing. You're strong. I don't care how weak she is. Her eyes can be, but speak life into her. Because as you birth her out, you're going to be birthed up. Every time you pour into her, it's going to come back to you. Speak. I don't care if you look beautiful. You are gorgeous. You're strong.
Come on.
You are a queen. Walk in your royalty because before you know it, she's going to be saying, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to get some counseling. I'm ready to get my children healed. I'm telling you, so that's the reason why law enforcement don't understand. We don't understand what you're going through. So when you come up there with that, I don't know so now officers are looking at y'all like, you know what, she playing games. She ain't ready. But we don't understand. You don't know. I don't know how to ask for help. And you may have to save me from myself. You may have to be the officer that signs the warrant. Oh, I'm a warrant signer. I'll sign a warrant on you in a hot minute. Go pull up. Everybody can go to the city of Warrensville Heights right now and pull up the domestic violence reports from 2016 and 2015, 2016. It will say Officer Nakia Jones had the highest domestic violence arrest and report rate. I don't play. I don't play. If I come in and see a mark, oh, somebody going to jail, especially if it's children in the house. Oh, somebody's going to jail today. Because it's sad that I have to make you be a man. because a man wouldn't put his hands on a woman. So now I gotta make you. And even women, I've seen women, I done arrested some women for domestic violence too.
Yeah.
That be off the hook. I've also had women, and I'm putting this out here, and I hope nobody get offended. If you one of them women that play wolf, you need to be ashamed of yourself. You need to check yourself. Because I've also arrested men that I know for a fact that did not put their hands on a woman. But if you sign the warrant, we have to do it. And then what happens is when a real woman comes in and needs help, officers are looking at her sideways because you playing games. Stop playing games. People are losing their lives. So now as a woman, I'm going to tell you what you can do to make law enforcement be responsible. When you go in there, this is what I want you to tell the law enforcement officers. I need help. I don't know where to go. I'm scared. I love him, but I hate him. He's killing me. Right now, my mind ain't right. Have you ever loved somebody? Have you really ever been in love with somebody, officer? Then you understand what I'm going through. I need your help. I feel like I'm about to die. Because now at this point, you make us responsible. You make us have to do something. You make us, if there's a mark on you anywhere, if we see any signs of abuse, we have to. The law says we have to effect an arrest. The aggressor has to be out of the home. I'm telling you, it's the law. It's the law. That's what the law says. If I can come in the house and I can tell who's the aggressor, who's the primary aggressor, guess what? I have to remove that person. Domestic violence does not mean just a hit. If you threaten, if you make somebody in your household feel like he's going to kill me, he's going to hurt me. And women, if you feel it, it's real.
That's it.
Stop playing with yourself. That is your sixth sense. That's God warning you that this is getting serious. You better take that warning and you better call for help. If a man tells you he's going to kill you, now this is something that I was taught by my mom, which was the advocate of domestic violence in East Cleveland, and she was running the program. She just retired. She said if a man tells a woman he's going to kill her, it's almost a 90% chance that he will. Yeah. That's how 90%. That's big. That's big. Know the signs. There's always signs, y'all. If y'all pay it, you've seen it before it happened.
Yes.
Y'all pay attention. Women, y'all are stronger than what, I don't know why we think we're so weak. Y'all are not weak, you're strong. And we're stronger together. All this division is crazy. We need each other. We need each other. I'm telling you, if we all do this, we will be able to shut stuff down. Let us march on Washington and say, the law's about to be changed today. What we about to say is if you are arrested for domestic violence, you got to register as a domestic violence offender so that if my daughter meets you, she know what she's dealing with. This ain't no secret. I understand people make mistakes, but the mistake is, okay, they push each other. All right, we might let that go. We're going to give y'all some counseling. But when you beat a woman up to the floor and stomp her, you have a problem.
Come on.
That's something ain't right. Something's wrong here. Something ain't right here. You get where I'm going with this? So, no, he don't need to be released. He needs to sit in front of a counselor, and it should be a law that says before you release from jail, don't hold him for 3 days. I get the 3-day concept because you don't want to go back. Oh, do something about it because evidently it ain't working. You're letting them out in 3 days, and 3 days later they killed this woman. It ain't working. Make them sit there and do some counseling. You got to sit in front of and let a counselor sign off.
Yes.